Episode 3: Economic Wars and the Battle for Technology. The shape of power we see in today's world was not built in a single day or a single war. It is the result of a long journey. A journey in which 2 world wars completely changed the positions of the US and China. But the question is, when the world was burning, where did America and China stand? The beginning of the new economic war, China's rise. Let's travel back to the 1970s, when China began to rise economically. After Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping took leadership, and China began to open its doors and implement economic reforms. However, China's economic rise didn't happen overnight. It took time to climb the graph. America's challenging position. By the late 1980s, America recognized China as an economic rival. China joined the World Trade Organization, WTO, and rapidly increased its trade volumes. China expanded from manufacturing industries to technology. At the same time, America's own economic position began to feel the pressure. China's growth challenged America's status as the world's economic superpower. The trade war. China dumping. In the 1990s, a trade war started between the US and China. The term China dumping became common, accusing China of flooding the market with cheap products. China's low-cost products dominated the US market, putting American industries under immense pressure. It was at this moment that China used its manufacturing power and technology to challenge America's economic dominance. The technology war. The new battlefield. By the 2020s, China entered the 2E technology field with full force, starting with companies like Huawei. The US labeled it a threat to national security. This wasn't just about one company. This was the beginning of a global technological war. China began dominating fields like 5G networks, artificial intelligence, AI, and cloud computing. The US was now forced into a new phase of competition with China, one that would define the next decade of global power. America's efforts. Stopping China's technological growth in response. The US took aggressive steps to stop China's technological rise. The US imposed sanctions on Huawei and launched a trade war against China. China, however, accelerated its own efforts to become self-sufficient in technology by launching multiple high-tech initiatives. China's retaliation. A new Chinese era. By 2025, China set a goal to achieve complete technological self-sufficiency. China developed its own AI systems, Neuralink-like technology, and began to challenge America's tech dominance. This marked the moment when China made it clear that it wasn't just an economic powerhouse, but a growing technological superpower as well. What's next? The path to World War III. Now the critical question arises. As the economic war and technological fight between China and the US intensify, will this escalate to world war? A third, will these 2 powers engage in an atomic war, or will it remain a soft war focused on economics, trade, and technological superiority? These questions will be answered in the next episode, where we will dive deeper into the relationship between China and the US and begin exploring the potential origins of World War III. This is just the beginning. Next episode: World War III, technology, economy, and nuclear weapons.